Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very carbonated and, well, that's when straight to the nose. It's a tropical blend of orange, guava, apricot, mango, and passion fruit in a sparkling water. A exceptional and very hydrating beverage indeed. So welcome back to Prison Architect, and previously we were finishing off the main body of the facility, the death row area on the left here. That included the bottom cell block, which is a total of 6 extra cells. So we now have a maximum capacity of 18 death row inmates, and, well, we also then expanded to the right and then planned off this, which is going to be the big area for our high-risk inmates. So anyone that passes the death row appeal program, they will go over to basically life, and then, well, this dormitory and this dormitory here is nowhere near fit for purpose. So I'm going to expand over to the right, and I'm going to do that right now. Let's go over to more here, over to wall max sec, and oh, actually, wait, that's the thing. Turn off auto lighting, and then I'm going to build all of this. And then the entranceway here. Now, obviously, that's going to take quite a while for the guys to crack on with that, so that's fine. They can do the whole thing. And I'm going to go with a large jail door because it's going to sort of copy this thing here. So, yeah, this is pretty much going to take all episode for them to do that. While they're doing that, obviously, we can still go through the whole death row thing. We've got Stephen Bernard and Joseph Milano to process, as well as James Denning, who's just looks like failed. There they are. There's James Denning, failed there. Death row appeal. Also, people have mentioned about, well, a couple of things actually. Firstly, these doors being incorrect, they're not opening the right way. As far as I can tell, they do open the right way. They open towards the door servo, so I'm not too sure on that one. Also, and people have rightly pointed out, what we should probably do is wire up these doors so they are connected to one another. So that goes to there, that goes to there, and is that correct? Oh, actually, we've got a couple of... They should have 3 connections each, so that should be fine. It means that when one door opens, the other one opens as well. Now, this is probably not the way to do it, and I must confess, when it comes to the whole wiring thing, I am far from an expert. But when one opens, the other one should open as well, like you see there. Though there's a little bit of delay on that one, and I'm not too sure if that's going to add any more pressure to the door control system, but I'm going to put in another door control system, which will be over on the right here, and then, yeah, that'll be a thing. What I'm planning on doing, maybe not in this episode, but I certainly want to put in all of this big building here. I then want to put in the wall around it. It's originally going to be a fence, and then hopefully, if we've got enough money, we'll expand into probably a perimeter wall. But if nothing else, I want to get this building built, as in I want to make the foundations. I then want to make a couple of cells, and as well as putting in the lighting, and then I'll go ahead and go for basically... I'm going to set it up so we can start cloning, and it'll be quite a while from these inmates coming from here over to here, but we'll see how we progress on. A couple of questions that people have had. Firstly, can we add any more death row appeal? We can, if I had the space, and there is some provision for that. If I was to move the dormitories over, which I'm not going to move the dormitories over, but I'm certainly going to move the inmates over to this new area, and then we'll have some spare room. But I don't think... Oh, hang on, let me just unpause that. Go back to normal speed, shall I say. I think there's been a bit of a fight there. There was certainly an alert, and I'm trying to see where that would be. I think it was around here, but I can't really make it out. Anyway, yes. So we could add some more stuff in there, but we're probably not gonna bother because I don't think we need it. Another question was, can you have more than one execution? And I actually have no idea. I guess you can have more than one execution room, but I don't think it would actually matter because you can only go through the process on an individual case-by-case basis. So there's not really much of a point in that one. Laundry baskets are unable to be unloaded. Laundry may be too small to meet the demand. Interesting. I mean, we've got this. What, too small? I'm guessing over here. So do I have to... let's go to dismantle that and maybe put in another bit of laundry. Let's go laundry machine, laundry machine. I don't know if the ironing board will be able to fit in there. Let me prioritise the building of all those and removal of this. And you can see these guys are actually cracking on now. So I don't know if that alert was just a temporary one because everyone was busy, or I'm really not too sure. Anyway, we'll see how we get on. We have got some more inmates arriving. It's currently sleep time, so I'm going to go ahead and do the usual. I'm actually going to start down the bottom keys. Normally I go up and around. So anyone in this cell block, they've basically got, I was going to say, preferential treatment, the opposite of that. They always get picked first for the execution process, but we're looking for Stephen Bernard, or who else we got? Milano or Denning. So let's have a quick look. So we've got Brindley there, no, so over here. We've got Underwood, Bernard. There's Stephen Bernard, likelihood of clemency 4%. They're actually the lowest on this one. So schedule execution, we will initiate present-wide lockdown, as well as the text the execution facility. Text it? Yeah, we'll text it and say, are you ready for customers? And it'll reply back, beep, boop, beep, yes. We'll go for assemble execution detail and escort witnesses to the facility. Certainly adding in these doors has massively sped up the process. There was a suggestion as well to put the warden in an office around more in the center. I don't know where we would really fit those in. I guess technically here I could put an office in here. Actually it would probably fit in quite nicely. We put a little office in here for the warden as well as the chief. You know what? I might have just convinced myself to do that, because it'll go up and along there. That'll be quite a nice fit, and put it in there. Shall we do that? It is possible, and it means I can get rid of these doors, although these doors here, I did say about them being potentially a bit of a security risk. Is this person... Okay, yeah, Stephen Bernard has taken off their clothes. We saw that previously in the last episode. So Stephen Bernard, prison number 1387385, sentenced to 122 years for multiple crimes, including murder, grievous bodily harm, and armed robbery. And the plea for all of that was guilty. Oh, it goes on: murder, grievous bodily, armed, aggravated, grievous, torture, grievous, attempted murder. 16, 9. How many years have they got? How many? Hang on, what was that there? They're grading likelihood of clemency 4%. How many years have they actually got total sentence? 122 years. Wow. Okay. Yes, Stephen Bernard, authorised. And there we go. Standard procedure. And then there we are. 5:29 of the AM. So yes, I could put the offices over here. So I would have a wall like that, and then we would have the door there. And I mean, I don't necessarily need a door down the bottom, because then they would have to go all the way around like that. That's just adding a little bit more of a weak spot to this position. Do I really need to put the offices there? It would be very, very... Oh, hang on. This is prisoner Mead here, who has just been tased. I could certainly put them in there. But going from here to here... Actually, it's not that, actually, is it? It's going from here to a cell block and then going in. So for at this point, you would pretty much be travelling... Well, actually, you'd be travelling further if it was down here, where you wouldn't be travelling as far if it was here. I think the physical difference, the actual difference, is minimal. Aesthetically, it might look quite good. I might come back to that. It's not a priority at this stage. Like I said, the priority is mainly getting the, at the moment, 24 maximum security inmates over to the new area, which obviously the workers are cracking on to build that one. I'm going to get in some more workers, because quite frankly, I think I need that. You see Paul Brindley now has went underneath the execution liability status level. So... go through that process there. These guys are on 10%. No, there's another one who's just gone underneath. Aston Barsby. So there's now 4 people. As I said, someone did mention about, can you have multiple? I was going to say these are not getting placed. And I don't even know if placing these is actually the way to go, because sometimes placing too many basically breaks the entire game. Yeah, what I was going to say. Yeah, having in multiple execution rooms, don't think it really matters. Really don't. Yeah. because you can only go through the process once. And speaking of once, let's go and find Aston Barsby. We have seen them previously, actually. Oh, there's Brindley. Paul Brindley. The first one I find. Authorise. So, standard procedure, prison-wide lockdown, test facility, all the usual stuff. Paul Brindley, prison number 139547173, 137 years for multiple crimes including murder, torture, and armed robbery. And all of the pleas of guilty. Look at that. Wow. Let's escort prisoner to the facility. And it's curious just how much of a sort of blasé, sort of standard procedure this has happened to have become. I don't think I can go through the process again unless I can find them quickly. There's prisoner Denning. I mean, the seat's still warm, which is, yes, not a subtle comment, one must confess. Let's authorise escort prisoner for the facility. This is prisoner Denning. Let's see, prisoner number 139406156. 61 years this time. Again, all plea is guilty. But obviously this is something you would not normally do. You would not normally be able to do it. Oh, hang on. We are generating all of the right here. And, okay, so I'm going to have to change a couple of things. Right, how am I going to do this? Yeah, these are going to become the new deliveries and things like that. So I'm going to go with, let me go for rooms and just remove all of those rooms. So we're going to go with exports. Exports, and exports is just going to go like that. We'll go deliveries. Garbage. And storage. There you go. Okay, that's now in. I'm going to probably get these doors sorted for a start. So large jail door there, and there, and there. These ones will be, while we're in here, these are going to be parole. So we'll have visitor doors there and there. We'll have double visitor doors there and there. And we'll have a standard door there and there. That should suffice for now. While we're waiting on that one, fencings. Fencing all the way around the outside. Like that. And then we're going to go with, let's have a look, wiring, door servos. Like that, and the rest of it should be fine. And while I've got it paused, max sec. Obviously all of these are going to have to be placed as well. Now, I'm not going to do the cell block just yet, you understand, because those are a separate one, and I have to put the lighting as well. As long as I get the door servos in, and the fencing, and yeah, pretty much that, and the door and the road gates and stuff, I'll be pretty happy with the progress there. So, just wait for them to crack on there. Oh, we will need to go for electrical. So I'll run electrical all the way back there. And frankly, I think that and that should suffice. Like that. That'll do. While I'm on, wiring, door control system. It's going to go there, which should be just on the back of that. Yep, we'll prioritise that. That should be fine. Obviously, the CCTV is to go in here as well. I'll crack on with that. As and when. Probably when I've got lights first, you understand. Connections. So there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there will be other doors probably on here as well. I'll probably put remote doors on here just because I can, but that's a future me problem. I don't need to do that at this stage. Okay, so parole. Let me just designate some rooms. Parole. It is sleep time, however. So let's go through and see if we can find Milano. Joseph Cookies Milano. Schedule execution. And obviously it's quite crass to mention it, but it's also probably stating the obvious. You make a lot of money doing this. And I wonder if there's a real life counterpart to that. Beyond the scope of a little prison architect video. Discussion. There we go. And job done, I guess. Visitation. So, there it is. Remove that little bit and that little bit. Visitor booths. I'm in the menu, so it doesn't take me long to do that. And metal detectors. Like that. And like that. And like that. Okay. Now parole while we're here as well. Why not? Like that. And this one is going to be security. Security. There we are. Why are those not automatically opening? I thought I'd wired those up. I have wired those up. So why are those not actuating? Because it's got no power. Well, that's the obvious thing, isn't it? Let's connect that up. Get that sorted. Find 10 illegal narcotics is up to 50%. Bear in mind that it was on 50% before. I might have even been at 60%, and then it changed to then it changed to 30. Yeah. Don't know what happened there. Water pipe. We're gonna go and run that in. I might get lucky and be able to run the water pipe up like that. We shall see. So, best course of action. Well, for a start, let's get some lighting in, shall we? So, I don't really know where to put them. Something like that. I'm not going to be too, too precious on where the lights go, you understand? As long as there's some amount of lighting in here, I'm not too concerned. So one there, one there, one there. One there, one there, one there, I think. Yeah. Put on the edge. Maybe on there and there. And then I'll do my best just to try and get them not symmetrical, certainly, but at least lined up. And in each one of these cells, I'll put separate lights as well. Actually, no, I won't, because I'm going to be cloning. So I'll do that later on. How have I put these in? So I'm just going to follow that, basically. And they should light it up. That should be an acceptable light. I think. It's not too bad. Okay. Let me just go to planning here. Just going to remove all the planning around the outside. And I think they're going to go for doors. Oh, sleep time again. So, let's see. Brindley. Schedule execution. It's it's basically a case of who I find first. As long as the percentage is under the 10%, there's like no financial risk to us. In fact, is there any... there might be a financial penalty for authorising an execution when their percentage is above what it should be. However, I don't think I can fail because the events aren't on. I don't think so. Back over to doors here, and I'm going to go with a road gate. So the road gate goes on there and there. Then the barrier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have it 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gap, and then that there. And then you have to put in the fence there and there normally. Although it's not going in. I'm curious. Naturally, that will require a door servo. And also, because of that, that'll require power. Which we have to run like so. So I'll get that done. I will wire up those to the new door control system. So there's the barrier. So the barrier only raises when you do a full-on lockdown. See that raises up there? And then we'll close that up. Well, we'll open that back up, I guess. And, oh, actually, the electrical cable needs to go like that and like that. But it's in. Okay, so we do have visitation. Let me just double change this deployment to, for now, all these staff. For now, everything's going to be staff only. I can come back. Obviously, I'm going to come back and change it. So that's fine. Let's go with, then. How do I want to do this? Do I just want to build one model cell and then it'll be just cloning? I think I probably do. Or do I build this one set? No, I think I'm just going to build one. Let's see what we can do with one. So that's going to be a cell. And I'll put in the walls. So it's going to be that. And then the doors will be one of those. And then we'll have a bed. We'll have in the... let's have a look. Toilet. That one. And shower head. And a drain. And then what can we do to make things better? Well, bookshelf is always a good one. Prayer mat. Maybe. Gym mat. And then a TV. So that there is spiritual, literature, exercise, entertainment, privacy. Yeah, it's got most of it. I'm purposely not going to put on any external windows because these guys won't have it. So that's in. As for flooring, what do we want for flooring? Well, people have mentioned actually they really like the look of this, like the sort of green and the dark colours there work very, very well. I do agree. Do we go with... I think we're going to go with iron floor, you know. And I like the idea of iron floor around maybe the outside like this. And then in the centre maybe green. Oh, actually, no, that's not what we've done on the other ones. Hang on, let me cancel that. Let me try that again. Right, so no, it would be iron. And it would be that. I believe. Yeah, and then it would be the grate. If we're following the similar sort of pattern to the other one, and that's exactly what I'm going for. Yeah, okay. I like the look of that. It's Quite industrial looking, isn't it? Very industrial looking. Like that. Alright, and naturally, a light. Okay. Water. Let's see if this fits. If that is okay, then I'm basically going to copy the entire thing. Serious risks of fire breaks out. Yes, indeed. Right, we've got more... More. Prisoner more. More execution. So that's that over there, which is all copied right. I haven't done the top bits correctly, but I'll come back to that. And like I say, a daily part of the prison cycle these days. I don't know exactly how many inmates we have left to intake. Wow. So I put the death row onto 300. That was at the start of last episode. It's now down to 86. We've only got 26 maximum security inmates. I have a feeling that the game is recalculating things and changing it. Okay. Interesting. That fits in okay. So, water pipes, then. This, I will point out now, is not that efficient in terms of the piping, and we could probably basically go up and across like that, and save ourselves some pipes. But we're also pretty much on the limit when it comes to the distance that this can go, and I'm very aware of that. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, well, there we go. Lots of pipe to place, and I don't know if the electrical cable's going to work. So, yeah, these are all in. These are all working. I was going to put another couple of road gates in here, and I think I actually will, because it does not really sit too well with me that that's like it is. We'll do that. And those should connect up fine with power. Oh no, they are actually external. Electrical. Okay, a couple of electrical cables there. So, we've got all of the pipework in. We've got all of the water in. Yep, I believe so. Yep, all the water pipes are in. That's good. Overall then, everything's working all right. And what I'm going to do is do a shakedown. Because we haven't done one since we started the series, practically. In fact, I can't remember the last time we've actually done a shakedown, if at all. So we'll do that, just because I want to find the 10 illegal narcotics. I want to go through and get that done, but I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, danger level is going to absolutely fly up here. And... wow, this is super secure. There's nothing can be thrown in, and apparently we're detecting everything. Wow, look at that! Not a single thing. No, we found one booze. We fought with 70%, and there's the end of that. Okay, let me just go over to staff programs and guard taser, first aid training. We'll fire all those up, and we are going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. We have done a little bit of rewiring. We've obviously put a lot of foundation on the right, which is absolutely filthy. So I'm going to get a couple more people. I will have to get more staff, more dog handlers, all that sort of thing. But even as we are now with our staff levels, we've got, a decent amount of money. But we're going to leave it there for now. That's, as I said, being a bit of Prison Architect. And next episode, we'll go ahead and we will basically get these cloned over and put some flooring in and get at least, at bare minimum, I think, the canteen built over on the right, which means that barring a couple of extras I can move stuff over. Obviously, I haven't got a pet bird in here either, which is a bit of a shame. If I was to have a pet bird, that would probably help. Actually, bird, pet bird. Okay, it's for the family and luxury needs. Oh, do I really want to put a pet bird just right in the middle? I don't have any problem with that, actually, although it would probably be more beneficial to put it on the right. I'm going to dismantle the gym mat because we could probably have a yard, an internal yard, and place the gym mat in there, or we could even have a gym, to be honest, whereas a bird is better. We also don't have in the statues, where if you have a statue is increases suppression by a small amount, but it's a grand each, and, well, we will have the money, but once we've built all of those statues, we then won't have any money. So, yeah. Either way, that's, like I say, our building for now. Next episode, we will continue on and see how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.